Maria, this week I made a concerted effort to carry my camera around with myself more again. I used to carry my camera around all the time. It used to be inseparable. Back when I was doing the overexposed video blogs, I literally had my camera on my person every day, taking video, taking pictures, etc. It became second nature to me to be using it. To be taking photographs, videos of people or things that I thought interesting or beautiful. And the camera itself became an extension of my body. I didn't really have to think about using it. I never had an issue pulling focus or anything, or setting the shutter speed. I just kind of developed a natural sense of what I needed to do to get the image I was after. In fact, when I go back and watch some of those videos, I'm kind of amazed at some of the really quick focus pulls that I do. I'm zooming in and then also snapping focus to exactly where it needs to be with very little correction, which I find myself doing a lot of these days. So I took my camera to work and checked emails as I listened to Snail's House, and I took my camera to the boardwalk and tried to shoot in low light as I listened to Michael Cera Palin. And since then, I haven't taken my camera out again. Because I realized on that day when I took my camera out that it wasn't just my physical or intellectual familiarity with the machine that made it possible for me to carry it around. It was my position in our society and my own comfort in that position. I was confronted with a profound awareness that despite my big beard and knitted hat, people probably don't see me as an unassuming hipster with a camera. And that increasingly so, they see me as a creepy guy with a camera. I've been thinking about this a lot recently because I have these scripts like A Cigarette and Mark that are the exact type of story that 5 or 10 years ago me and my friends would just go out on the street and shoot. That's what they're written to be. They're written to be simple, domestic, realistic struggles of just people. But now that I'm 27, I can't just run out with a camera and start filming willy-nilly on the street. I can't be the sort of person who just goes out with a camera and plays without entering an extremely uncomfortable social space that I don't think I'm secure enough to occupy. And it hurts even more because that's exactly who I used to be. I'm currently clearing out my old hard drives to make room for all these upcoming projects, and it's nothing but boots on the ground, run and gun, cinema verite, just craziness. Just a kid with a camera making some of the most punk rock movies he could possibly make. And I can't do that anymore. I wouldn't be comfortable doing it. Production-wise, it would be completely unacceptable, and socially, it wouldn't be right to have somebody who is an adult running around with a camera, shooting whatever. I'd like to say that that's just part of the natural process of a filmmaker maturing. That you make those projects in your backyard, on the street, without a permit, and you get that done so that you build that understanding of how stories work, of how films work. You have that ground level foundation. And then once you enter the adult stage of your life, you come to accept that if you want to continue pursuing those dreams and telling those stories, that's where permits come in. I think what hurts the most, more than not being a kid anymore, more than feeling kind of weird carrying a camera around, is that when I go through those old hard drives, I see those projects unfinished. I see Swamp Planet, I see William 2, I see these ideas that I had that people were willing to bend over backwards to accommodate me for. That we were all willing to just say fuck it to the rules and just do whatever it took to get it done. That meant running around and filming the outsides of businesses, and that was that. That meant shooting on private property, just hoping that the landowner wouldn't look out his window and notice we were doing something we were explicitly not supposed to be doing. Then, you know, cross that bridge when we get to it. And yet I didn't pursue those dreams enough to finally realize them, to finally crystallize the finished project and shove them out the door and say, there, that's that chapter of my life taken care of. Bring on the permits. And part of me still longs for those days so that I can actually fulfill them the way they were supposed to be fulfilled. So that I can actually just go out, shoot something like a madman, come in, edit it, and throw it at the, unassuming, unexpecting public. But there was a sort of failure to launch Arrested Development situation there with me. And now those spur-of-the-moment, spontaneous projects need to be meticulously reconstructed from faded ancient memories and pieced back together, less like a burst of creative energy and more like an archaeology project. I'm not trying to slam production, because I love production. I find it exciting and fulfilling to actually carry stuff through, make a plan, and hit every single box on that checklist. But trying to impose those ideals on projects that were supposed to fly in the face of them feels wrong. And it feels unsatisfactory. And I wish I could do it again. I wish I had another chance to do it. Maria, I want to say putting all that aside and then carry on with the video, but I think that's kind of dismissive, because I didn't actually have half of that planned when I started taping this letter. I just want to thank you for encouraging me to do this past the glass review. Because getting that out there is helpful, and I feel good now that I've said it to you. So with all that said and out of the way, ultimately there are three types of people who can shoot up the street. Kids, because who cares? Filmmakers with permits, because they have permits, and tourists. And on that note, I have a train to catch. Talk to you soon.